So if you saw last time's video, we were talking about how this 2011 MacBook Air is still kind of usable in 2025, but one of the problems it was having was heat. So today we're going to operate, and what we're going to do is we're going to change the thermal paste. We're going to give it a good clean, and I've got some tools here to help me out. So I've got a packet of these off Amazon. I've never done this before, so it'll be interesting. I've got my Amazon Basics screwdriver kit, which I think is really good value for money for stuff like this. I think it's got all the bits. I'm like 90% sure it has all the bits to do the job. And we're going to need some cotton buds to clean off the old thermal paste. And we're also going to need this big old bottle of isopropyl alcohol. So let's get into it. So to help us along the way, we're going to use this iFixit replacement guide, and we're going to see if we can do it with this. Hopefully this right is what other people use, so we're going to see. So we found the right end for doing this screwdriver bit. It's the 1.2 star shape in the Amazon Basics kit, or it's called like a P5 pentalope screw or something. Yeah, I've got a little jar because these are absolutely tiny screws. As you can see, just drop that one. I hope they're both in there, and I'll come back when I've done the screws out. So the screws are now out, and the back to these two here next to the little bit of information are really longer than the standard ones. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera for you, but yeah, they're definitely smaller screws, something to make note of. But all the screws are out. Let's pop the back off. And there we are. We are inside our MacBook Air. And this is what I was on about. This is dirt. Let me lift this up and show you inside. So it doesn't look like it's ever been worked on or anything opened up, but there's definitely some gunk and stuff in there. So we're going to clean that out, and then we're going to start on lifting I believe you have to unplug the power supply, which I think is this one. Then we have to get this I/O connector out, and then yeah, look at that fan. That fan is caked up. Then we have to get this off, and this is where our CPU is under here. But yeah, let's get on with it. And so I've got some toilet roll, and I was just scrubbing it, and I'm right here at the back, right here is some really crusty stuff. I'm trying to clean it with some toilet roll, makeup brush, and now I've got one of these out with that little toolkit that I showed. I don't know what that is. What is it? It's in the vents. It's all crusty. Maybe a bit of alcohol would get that off. I don't know. I'll come back a bit more cleaning because yuck. I've given it a clean the best I can, without trying to damage stuff. So we've got a bit of dust out. So next thing we need to do is remove the battery cable. It seems to stick this under here, but use the flathead and asperge both sides of the connector up from the socket. It seemed to come off. I honestly feel like I'm going to end up breaking this. Is that it? I think we did it. I think that's it. We're not taking the battery out, but the tutorial says that so we don't short any components. One thing I really don't understand is why we need to remove the SSD. I'm not doing that. It seemed like why. I don't understand why we need to remove the SSD. And next is the I/O board cable. Use the flat end and pry the I/O board up from the socket. Right, let's try it. Oh, that came off really easy. So it says on here that there's some adhesive. I don't think there is any adhesive on this. Well, maybe there was at some point, but it's come off. Are we taking both pieces off? Yeah, it looks like we're taking both pieces of this cable off. He's going from this side. Is he going that side, or is he going on this corner? I've never done anything like this before, so it's kind of scary in a way. If I break it, I break it. That's just part of life, and maybe repairing it'll be another video. I'm a little bit scared. I'm going to try going underneath. I don't want to push too hard. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's out. I think I know why we have to remove the SSD now. The fan cable's underneath it. Right, that looks like, is this screw? Maybe we do have to remove the SSD. Oh, there we go. It's tight. Right, put that in there. That is the black screw. So next, we're going to lift this out. I knew there'd be a reason why. Is it just going to come? It's coming. And there we are. There's the SSD. On to the next piece of the equation. Getting this fan cable out. So that is showing the pointy end. Use the tip. Oh, I think I did it. Right, that's the picture. I don't know. I don't know if you can see the picture, but it's like the picture. So next we've got 3 screws to take out, which is these ones. I'm going to put these on this glass, like this plastic casing. It looks like they're 2 different sets of screws, but I'm going to lay them out so I know which ones are which. I think these could be 2 different screw ends, but it says 5.2mm and then I think it probably just means the length of the screw. That's quite cool that they tell you that on iFixit. So, right, we'll remove the screws. So there's this like lift up. So I'm going to try and leave that there. And next we have our heatsink screws. Right, so we've removed our screws, and it looks like we can pick the heatsink up. There it is. That came off pretty easy, and look at that bloody dust. So I give that a wipe out now. So next I need to get this old thermal paste off, and I presume I'm just going to use isopropyl alcohol and then, yeah, give it a wipe. So I got to settle with some isopropyl alcohol, just put in this bottle cap lid, a few cotton buds or Q-tips if you're American, and I just got to dip that in there. I have no idea what I'm doing, so don't use this video as a as a way to like, oh, this is how you do it. That's how Dan did it. Dan has never done this before. I've put thermal paste on before, but I've never like tried fixing a MacBook before. Well, improving a MacBook. Now I've got that on there. That's that cleaned off. I've just dropped thermal paste in the machine. I suppose it can only help with cooling, right? So that's like 1 down. I think we've done a good job of that so far. That's that nice and clean. And let's start on the actual CPU die itself. I keep wanting to put it in this jar that I've put my screws in. Let's go for it. See, that thermal paste is coming off nicely. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly or not. Hopefully one of you in the comments will let me know. I feel so bad for this little MacBook. It's got me working on it. I'm not 100% sure how long this takes to dry, but I know like isopropyl alcohol evaporates quite fast. It feels dry. So what I got some Arctic MX4 thermal paste. This is not expensive stuff. It's like £5 on Amazon. And that was the whole point of this build. It's like, you know, I don't want to go out and get a load of stuff and make this like really expensive product. The idea is that it's supposed to be a simple, you know, let's see what we can do with the price. And if you're into stuff like this, you've probably already got some of these things like these sprues. Maybe even got some thermal paste lying around. Get a little bit out. Probably more than enough. I think we just spread this across. I think maybe a little bit more. I think it was Linus that said there's no such thing as too much thermal paste. It can only help, right? So I think that's probably enough. I think it's time we probably start reassembling everything. I'll reassemble it and then we'll see how far we get. So I think I've successfully reconnected everything back in, and I think now is the moment of truth. Does it still turn on? I'm just going to put the bottom piece on for a second. I wonder if it turns on without the bottom piece. Let's have a look. Try not to touch the bottom. I can feel fan spin. Chat, we have fan spin. Lewis Rossman always says that's good, so maybe he's right. Oh, here we go. Here we go, boys. Oh, there I am. Password is in. Does everything load up? And would you look at that? There it is. It looks like everything's loaded up properly. I haven't killed this poor little MacBook. We'll see if we improve these temperatures anyways. So I'm going to shut it back down and just reattach the bottom panel because this isn't ideal for use, is it? So all the screws are back in the MacBook now. We didn't lose any screws along the way, which I'm quite happy about because, like I said, I've never done stuff like this before. But we're going to see if it works better in testing. Let's see if I improved it or maybe buggered it. Let's find out. So we've turned our MacBook Air back on. It seems to be working fine, even though I've been inside and played around with it. So what we're going to try doing now is running our most stressful application, which seemed to be the Kerbal Space Program, and seeing if we can actually make this thing into a gaming beast. Probably not very likely, but we're going to give it a try and see if our testing actually did affect our CPU temperatures, or see if we can get a bit of better performance out of it. Of course, we have no on-direct metrics other than the iStats bar. I hope this works. I'm just glad the MacBook turned back on, even though I've been playing around in it. So here we are, already at the menu screen, and you can see we're hitting temperatures of 80 degrees. I did notice as well there is this frames per second counter in iStats. I don't know how accurate it is, but let's start one of these. The ESA mission that we were trying last time, which is this one, and here we are. We are now ready to start seeing it. Our temperatures are still below 90, but let's see if we can get it going a bit. And how much FPS are we actually hitting? We're hitting a whole 10 FPS, 8 FPS, with 90 odd degrees. Let's see, and the fan is starting to ramp up there. You can see this mission. I'm not really sure how to play this game. It'd probably be better if I knew how to play this game, but whole 3 FPS is going to allow us to play this game any better. So so far we are still at 94 Hz. You know, we were peaking like 95 to 97 last time, so maybe we have made some sort of impact. So we're just restarting the mission now. As you see, the fans are ramping up here, 3,300 RPM, and we're hitting 84 degrees, which is not a great temperature, but I think it's better than it was last time. Let's start the mission off. How many FPS we're getting? We're getting a few more FPS this time. Fans are ramping up. We could really just title this video, Dan doesn't know how to play Kerbal Space Project, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I just know this laptop can't handle it. But yeah, we're definitely peaking at 94, which is nice, because before we were, you know, our peaks were like 95, 96. So I think we've definitely done something here. I have one last idea on how we can get the temperatures down and maybe increase FPS by getting them down. I'm going to go and get that stuff now. So I'm back and I've brought something that hopefully should help this thing out. When I went to the freezer, I just left it on this screen. You probably can't read it because the camera's too far out, but it's 93 degrees and the fan's at practically full strength. So 6,400, 6,500 RPM. We're going to put this in a carrier bag. Don't try this at home because it may leak and destroy your laptop and God knows what else. So the ice is now in a bag purely because I don't want it like leaking on anything. But don't try this at home. Let's see if this can help our temperatures. So we've got the ice in place, and the reason why I thought the ice would work is because I think the way the the way the heat sink is, maybe it uses the aluminum body as like a way to extract the heat. So I'm thinking if we put ice on the body of the laptop, it's going to help cool it down. So I'm going to restart the mission. We've already dropped 1 degree, maybe 2, but we're definitely not peaking to 94 in that, so I definitely think this is working. Oh, we just dropped to 82. Granted, the fans are at full tilt, as you can probably hear. It's a little bit crazy, but we're at 76. Have I just cracked PC gaming on Mac, or Mac gaming, Mac laptop gaming? You know, let's start the mission off. How many FPS are we at? The fans are dropping down. My question is, what if we turn the fans up to 100%, so full 6,500 RPM fans with the ice pack attachment underneath? Is this the future of Mac gaming? Have we figured it out? Granted, we can't figure out how to play the game. These temperatures are coming down. You know, maybe not as fast as I wanted it to come down. So restart another mission. If you see, we're hitting temperatures of 71. Full tilt on the thing. The bottom of the laptop, especially like near where the front of the laptop, where the mouse pad is. Let me try and show you this. Isn't really touching. This is wonky as hell. But back here is definitely colder, like where this USB port is for the mouse. The front obviously it's not making as much contact. But yeah. So it's a kilo of ice, if I didn't already say that. So full tilt. I'm going to sit you guys down. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this to just run on here, because as I say, when I went for the ice, it was still running full temperature, so I don't think it matters if we're playing the game or not. I'm going to see full fans, ice, 10 minutes, we'll see what the temperature's like. So it's just been a little under 10 minutes now, and I've been observing the temperature, and we did get as low as 75. There it is, 75 now. So what seems to happen is it like floats around with temperature, so it'll go like 76, like 75, back to 76, and then the more that happens, eventually it'll just go down at that temperature. So we were about 80 degrees, and now we're at 75 with the ice pack. If we start the rocket thing off, let's see if the temperature's climbing. 77, it's climbing a little bit, but it's dropped back down to 75. We do a little bit more on the rocket thing. And one of the things I wanted to note as well, the edges of the laptop, so down where the trackpad is now cold. Now that the heat is, or the cold, should I say, from the ice has had time to go right through the unibody of the MacBook. It's one of the things I wanted to try with the ice, because you know, metal gets cold. The ice should help. Obviously it's not practical, this is just for entertainment purposes, and you probably shouldn't try this at home ever. It's working, you know, like full fans, 77 degree It's better than the 90 odd. So one thing curious is if we set the fans back to system controlled, does the temperature like rapidly increase? Because of course the Mac will have its own like safe operating temperature or whatever, its own fan control system. So I think it decides when to run the fans. We see now we've knocked the fans back down. We quickly climb into 90. We're back at 93. But I think opening it up, changing the thermal paste, giving it a bit of a clean, has definitely knocked a few degrees off. It's of course not the best thing in the world, but we definitely made some sort of an improvement, giving it a clean change of the thermal paste. Because we're not getting back up to 95, 96, and it's dropping back down. I presume this because of the ice. I'm calling this a success. Can yell a MacBook Air 2011 be used for gaming? Probably not. I do think this game came out like in 2013, so it came out 2 years after this laptop came out, but I'm calling it a success. I want to know what you guys think. What should I try next? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.